I'm here with Alvin Huang today. He has sold over 200 million worth of product and currently runs a company doing US 30 million a year. Were you a very loud kid growing up?
I don't really like talking to people. Over the years, I literally have to force myself to go and talk to people. There's a GCB. Back then, I remember in the living room, there was actually like glass floors and then there was a pond underneath the living room. It was amazing. I felt embarrassed. I think I felt some anger, like why is he doing this to me? I didn't even know him. Why would he talk to me like that?
How did that influence your actions after that?
I think, so my mom was a nurse and I remember she had to work a lot of shifts, double shifts just to make ends meet. And because of that, I remember as a kid, I was always crying. We stayed in HDB. I remember it was a 5-room flat, but 2 rooms were rented out. We all squeezed into one, the master bedroom, because my family couldn't afford much. Since young, I always was trying to make money. And that was one of the reasons why I managed to go all the way.
What planted that seed business?
Once I tasted that success, I just went all into it. I started selling what we call ebooks. That business, we managed to scale to about 4.5 million a year. One of my skill sets, I guess, is modeling. I always analyze competitors and we model people, or rather copy. But I think you need to copy not just the superficial areas, but you need to go in, like, know the details as well.
When's your first touch point with AI?
If you're able to scale thought processes and frameworks and deliver them at high consistency because of AI agents, because you're the one training the model, then you have less need for people.
I'm here with Alvin Huang today, a serial entrepreneur, loving that and recently AI enthusiast. He has sold over 200 million worth of product in his business career and currently runs a company doing US 30 million a year. And finally, what's most telling also is that he's one of the few local founders very willing to share his insights, stories, experiences so openly to scale your own businesses. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today. Thank you, Alvin, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Calvin.
We are in for a treat. You know, Alvin is someone that I've spoke to closely over the last couple of months, and he's given me such deep insight, knowledge, and sincerity that he deals with people. So we're really going to extract value from you today.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Quick value anchor overview of what we're going to cover. Just a bit of upbringing, very briefly. I'm always fascinated the history of entrepreneurs, how they even came to be what they be, culture, motivations, and then we'll go straight into business and scaling all your businesses, extracting the key levers, the lessons you have learned, and how this is going to be applied to people looking at scale from 0 to 1 million, and of course from 1 to even beyond that. Yeah, and finally, very interesting topic of conversation, AI. AI is something that I just recently dabbled into.
Okay.
I'm so fascinated. Just one day, and there's so many use cases.
Yeah. That's why I've been urging you to, go all in.
And I know you are really into it, right? So I think AI is a huge thing that we want to talk about. Do stay tuned to the end. Or if you're watching YouTube, you can fast forward it to that specific timestamp. But I recommend you stay for the context as well. Okay, before all that, let's briefly talk about where we left off, personal brand. Really briefly, right? Why did you decide to even go on this journey? You don't have to.
Yeah, so I think that was about maybe 2 years ago where I listened to someone based in the US. His name is called Chris Dontry.
Yeah.
He shared about how actually in this day and age, the potential or speed that you can build a personal brand. So previously, I think the worry of building a personal brand is you worry that, if you pass away, the brand's gone, right? Because you're no longer there. And you rather build a company's brand. But the thing is, it takes so much longer to build a company's brand. And if you do eventually sell the brand away, I mean, you of course, you benefit from it. But with a personal brand, I come to realize that you can use your personal brand to start various businesses and empower them. So it becomes something that's easier to build, especially in this day and age. Well, I mean, it's tricky, but it's relatively faster to build compared to a company's brand. So there's something that I was got interested in. And at the same time, I guess I'm using that as my semi-retirement thing. Where, when I sell away my main business or I just run, I intend to do, personal consulting as a semi-retirement thing.
Real briefly, what is a key insight you have gained from this journey, personal brand? A striking insight.
Wow. I think it takes a long while to build a brand, I feel, or positioning, because I think in this day and age, so much noise out there. So how do you stand out? I think it's not just about putting content. To be honest, I think prior to this attempt on LinkedIn, on TikTok and all that, I was building a personal brand on Facebook just by posting regularly. I mean, not intentionally, but among my, I would say my warm market, people have known me, to be a business owner, because I've been putting up photos for like 10 over years. And you don't game that, right? You don't purposely do that to do a payout. So I think the journey has been interesting in terms of a lot of videos nowadays, and I'm not very good with videos. So I think I think there's a lot to learn how to build a personal brand in terms of
Is there a specific moment? I think we did a few videos together. One of them
Yes.
also did pretty well, where you shared probably the best performing one is you sharing your story
yes,
of how you were almost ostracized but looked down upon
yes,
by someone at GCB. Right?
yes,
That became a defining story.
yes.
Also, was there any people that outreach to you? Any so far in the brand
I
that
think
said that yeah.
I think there are some people that just reach out to share their thoughts about it, but I wouldn't say I'm not sure
Yeah.
how that impacts my brand. But at the same time, yes, that definitely went viral. And I think throughout your whole entire life, you have all these stories, and I guess it's just interesting to share them. And I think that gives context of why you do what you do, and where you are.
I think it makes you a lot more personable. It makes you a lot more connected. Because if not, you're just seen as a label. You're seen as a guy that makes $200 million, right? You're seen as a guy that does a huge company. But I think that personal brand, one of the advantages, it makes you relatable to people. And I think now we're doing this podcast, it's like, look, if people want to come to you eventually to talk to you,
Yes.
consult with you, they need to also kind of resonate with you as an individual.
Yeah, I guess
Father.
true. And then I guess like
person.
you as well. I think it's important, right?
Cool.
Makes so much sense.
Right. And I think that's, I guess we can transition into your upbringing also. Were you always, people have this myth, perhaps I would like to share, that you need to be very outspoken, extravagant in order to build a personal brand. Definitely some showmanship is required. But were you a very loud kid growing up?
No, actually, I'm more of an introvert. I don't really, if I hang out in networking areas, I don't really like talking to people. I think over the years, I literally have to force myself to go and talk to people.
Right.
Of course, over the years, as my business grew, I became more well known. It became easier because people would come and talk to me.
Sure.
But at the start, it's definitely tougher. I think previously, I think it depends on medium. In the past, I used to, even prior to AI, I used to write a lot on Facebook, post a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that helped me build my personal brand. But that was the medium for Facebook. When nowadays, it seems that video is everywhere, like Insta, TikTok, and that's the prevailing thing. So I don't think you need to be an extrovert, but at the same time, I think you need to match the medium, at the same time of where you want to build
Fair enough.
a group, a community, I would say.
Yeah. Victoria School.
Yeah.
Same near saying about it.
Yeah.
Let's briefly recall that story for people that have not heard that before. The part that where you went to that big house.
Oh, the GCB, okay. Yeah, so back then, I was in Victoria, and I was dating an MGS girl, right? So we knew them. I mean, if you ever heard of this MRIC, I think
it's always the same.
There's a dinosaur.
I was a good kid, so I didn't even hang on. But yeah, I mean, the schools all around the area.
Yeah, so so I think there was a party, and then people going there were from ACS, Chinese High, RI. I was one of a few Victorians going there, and when I went there, right, prior to that, me and my girlfriend back then were, I was shopping at Giordano, right, and I bought this. I remember sand blasted jeans. That's what's the name of it, because I remember it's very comfortable. So I was holding the Giordano bag, went to the GCB to attend a birthday party, and actually it wasn't the owner of the GCB. The son that was bad to me. It was actually someone else who just came up to me. I didn't even know him, and he just said, "You mean you actually shop at Giordano?" And that really caught me by surprise, because as a 15-year-old kid, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I definitely felt a little bit awkward, shamed.
Yeah. And it was how did it make you? It's not so much the fact that you can recall it in such great detail means that it left an impact.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I was with my girlfriend back then. Definitely embarrassed, and I didn't know how to react, because in fact, that was my first time seeing a house so big, right? It was now we know it as a GCB, but back then I just knew. I remember in the living room there was actually like glass floors, and then there was a pond underneath the living room. It was amazing. But yeah, I think it sucked in me, because I felt embarrassed. I think I felt some anger, like, why is he doing this to me? Like I didn't even know him. Like, why would he talk to me like that?
At that age, especially, we're very impressionable. Identity mattered a lot. Status kind of mattered a lot. Did that? What was the aftermath of that? During the party itself, was it hard for you to even mix around with these people?
I guess, actually, yes and no. I think the thing about rich people or rich kids is that there's a variety, right? There are those that are snobbish, and those are very nice. There are a lot of affluent kids who are very nice, brought up well, and I got to talk to them. So I just in that party, I just tried to. It was a big party, lots of people. I tried to hang out with people that were nicer and I knew a bit better. But it was definitely jarring and stuff.
Sure, it's yin and yang. I don't want to sit here and put a personal bias narrative that
no.
rich people are like that. No, actually there are a lot of them that are brought up pretty well.
Yeah. I think it's not to do. It's more about the individual, I think.
Yeah.
So
Was your, I mean, your girlfriend was beside you at that time.
Oh yeah,
You said that, I mean,
because we came into the house, like
Yeah.
just entered and
so you heard that in full.
oh yeah, definitely.
And how did you have a chat with her after that? What?
We didn't talk about it. I don't remember talking about it, but I think I didn't want to bring it up or discuss it. So, but inside, it
brushed
definitely,
it. Oh, okay.
yeah, it's definitely a wound inside. Like,
Fascinating. So you're never brought even after the party?
no,
chat
no,
about?
no, I don't think we talk about it.
That's insane. Well, I mean, okay, I guess it's something that we don't just bury. But how did that influence your actions after that?
I think it did make me feel like, I want to prove myself eventually. Like, I mean, combined with a few other various factors.
Yeah.
Why that's why I went to business, but that was not the sole reason.
Yeah.
But whenever I think about that moment and back when I was younger, it does, I feel, motivate me. Because you can use that as a, I would say, enemy per se to gain energy, anger, to then gain focus. So that's why I think I use it, as a way to focus myself on achieving what I need.
Do you think that's more of a push motivation rather than pull motivation?
Oh yeah, that's
And how
definitely a
long
push.
would that last? What advantage, disadvantage is it there into tapping to that kind of motivation?
Good question. I mean, it's interesting you asked that, like, advantage or disadvantage. Actually, I don't think it's such terms. I just use whatever I have.
At that moment.
At that moment, at that time, whatever pulls and push I have, I just use them. I don't think so much. Like, I don't go into details.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
not too philosophical.
yeah, I'm not. I don't care about such things. Just, that was definitely, like you said, a push factor. Just that. That alone would not be sufficient, though. I think.
Yes.
I think
runs
that's what.
out, the energy runs out.
It runs out.
Okay, so what put you beyond just the initial push, right? Clearly, okay, so a lot of people have been heartbroken. A lot of people have been looked down upon. Set it out there, right?
Yeah.
And we have felt that bit of energy, that indignance that we want to push forward. We want to make something for ourselves. But even with that, very few people come out on the other end, right? They maybe had last short period of time, then they decide, okay, I think it's not worth it anymore.
Okay, I think.
But for you, you went all the way.
I think there were two factors mainly. I think the first is since young I was very. My mom was actually. I mean, we were brought up in a middle income family.
Yes.
We stayed in HDB. I remember it was a 5-room flat, but 2 rooms were rented out. We all squeezed into one, the master bedroom, because my family couldn't afford so they had to rent out 2 rooms. So my mom was a nurse, and I remember she had to work a lot of shifts, double shifts, just to make ends meet. And because of that, I remember as a kid, I was always crying. So cliche as it is, therefore, since young, I always thought I wanted, when I grew up, to have financial freedom so I can spend time with my family.
Can I pause you a bit? Sorry. I know, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just curious. You mentioned your mom was always crying.
No, I was always crying because I didn't see her.
Oh.
Because she was working double shifts.
Okay.
I didn't get to see her a lot.
Yeah. Was it expressed as a kid, like you shared that you prefer her time?
I don't think I talked to her about it ever, but I always felt it because when you're young and mommy's boy, you're always wanting to look for a mother. My dad was very strict, so I didn't really like looking for him. But yeah, I remember that vividly. Like, I was always wondering where she was, and I knew she was working, but yet, although logically you knew that she had to work, but somehow emotionally you still feel, why is she not around? So I therefore decided since young that I would go in. I felt that the way to get financial freedom was business, to always, hustle, make money. Therefore, since young, I always was trying to make money. And that was, I think, one of the reasons why I managed to go all the way.
What planted that seed? Business. Back then, social media was not a big thing.
No,
now entrepreneurship is glorified.
Back then, okay. So I guess also at the same time, my mom's a role model in the sense that she works really hard as a nurse, and eventually she was working in those nursing homes. She was like managing the homes. Eventually, she got her first big break. My uncle loaned her money, and she purchased a nursing home. And so she now runs her 2 nursing homes her own.
That's amazing.
So I could see firsthand, like, if you put in the work, you put in the effort, you can build something sustainable, a business. So I think that was, she didn't say anything to me, but I could see it like echo in real life that if that's why I think I also resonate a lot with Victorian, James Son of the Boy, like nothing without hard work, So I went all in, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Nice transition into business. Let's give you maybe a 30-second walkthrough of your business journey, achievements and milestones.
Okay.
Summary first, and then I'll go in depth.
Okay, so quick summary, failed many times, tried a lot of different ventures, got burnt, even also thought about starting a cafe. I think everybody starts. So thought of starting an F&B before, didn't go in, thankfully. So my first big break was, I remember there was another ex-girlfriend, she needed medication. I had to wake up every 4 hours to feed her the medication. So I was searching online, how to make money online, literally searching that. That time no Google. I think it was Alta Vista or Catcher. If you know that, you're my age.
Yeah.
If not, you haven't heard of it, then never mind.
Yeah.
So I found this ebook program called Silent Sales Machine by Jim Crockham, and it was a program teaching you how to make money selling things on eBay. I bought the program. I remember it was $97 US. I followed it to a T, and I was able to generate about $2,000 to $3,000 within like 2 months, every month.
Amazing.
While still in university. Right?
What was the medium?
eBay, selling stuff on eBay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, just buying and selling.
Yeah. So that was my first, I would say, taste. Thankfully, the guru wasn't a fake guru. The model worked. So once I tasted that success, I went all in after university. I just went all in to still do digital marketing.
Yeah, gonna go into that. I mean, this is on me for not making a summary, but I'm curious about this specific one. Just to highlight also that now you're an educator of some sort, right?
Yes,
You're going to go in education. People are generally skeptical of gurus. They're skeptical.
Oh yeah.
How does one even decide who to look for,
I think
and how to evaluate their credibility?
Okay, I think for starters, you have to understand. I mean, I think you should also look at your own personality, your own skill set, your own characteristic, what you're strong in, and whether the business model that you're pursuing or opportunity matches your strengths.
Underrated, yes.
Because of course, every guru will kind of sell
say
it.
that, is that,
it
yeah,
works,
you can do it, yeah.
But no, it doesn't work. I mean, you want to increase your odds of success. Just as,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. When you went to school, did everybody score A's? No, right? You all went to the same lessons, but
yes.
nobody scored. Some people failed, some did okay, some did excel. Similarly, when you take a program to make money or whatever, you're going to have people who are going to do very well and people who don't do well, right? It's a numbers game. So you want to increase your odds of success. So you need to know yourself, match it well. Of course, find someone who's legit. I think it helps that you do homework, research on the person. And the thing is, for every guru online, there's bound to be unhappy people. So you need to be very careful to go online. There are going to be forums that badmouth the person. So I think more importantly, ideally, if you have friends or acquaintances that have taken the program and they can share, then that'll be great, I guess. You met the person, then in real life, you can see whether the person is really authentic, right? I think sometimes what we display on socials is different from how the person is.
What do we have to watch out for besides thinking it's too easy? Because you highlight the fact that you need to take responsibility, understand yourself and everything. But a lot of these guys are quite young and impressionable as well. Maybe they're watching this. What is advice you would share them when they are looking into that? I started at 19, 18 or so. I was fortunate that I came across Amway and Direct Sales. A good team.
Okay.
I could very well have gone the pyramid scheme. At that point.
I think one other area, I mean, I'm not sure, I'm segueing. It's a bit different, but I would say evaluate the risk versus reward. Meaning that, okay, how much is it going to cost you in terms of both money and time? If you can afford it, then there is no harm trying it out, even if you couldn't do the full market research, right? The most important thing is you need to know, like, how long are you going to commit to this program? Like 6 months or a year? What is reasonable? And how much money can pump in? If you go in, try it out. Because at the end of the day, to be honest, I'm not sure about you, but no matter how much research you do on someone on a program, the reality is when you step in, then you can see how it does for you.
Okay.
Right. So you need to actually set, I would say, time limits or money limits on how far you go in before you call it quits and then pivot to the next opportunity. Because I feel that at the end of the day, we have a limited lifespan. It's about how you, decide and prioritize which opportunities in life has high probability of success that gives you the max return. So it's fine if you make a wrong choice. Don't worry about it. Then move on to the next program or whatever.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Makes a lot of sense. Speaking of programs, programs are built around a lot of systems as well.
Yes.
Businesses are built around systems. I feel I'm quite weak in that personally. It's a spontaneous individual. Some entrepreneurs watching this might also struggle with that. You have built very strong systems in your business. How did you start out with that? You say digital marketing, yes.
So I think systems are important, yes and no. Okay, the reason is there's no point having a system that doesn't work. So something has to work first.
Okay.
Right? And usually at that stage where you're trying to find out what works, you don't need to don't build a system. There's no point, right? I mean, figure things out, and things are messy at the start. But the key thing is once you figure it out, or usually you will figure it out, but it's in your brain. And the question is, how do you scale it? How do you make it replicable without you being involved? That's where systems come in. Right? So don't always think about, I think, in terms of building systems first. Figure it out, make sure it's a decent model that works, whatever you're doing, processes, whatnot. Then, when it's decent already, and if you want to scale and move to something else, that's where you build the system. Yeah.
From you speaking to a lot of founders nowadays, do you think a lot of people over-optimize systems at the beginning when they should be focusing on sales and the messy stuff and
Oh, yeah.
can making things work?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of the day, I guess people talk about
Each
systems.
his own lah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that it's one positioning way to say,
Yeah.
you need to use systems to scale. It's just
Yeah.
normal, it's duh.
Yeah.
But I think you have to understand the devils and the details, the nuances behind it. Like, yes, definitely, I always, when you're 0 to 1, not even doing 1 million, you should always focus on sales first. Get it dialed in, right? Don't bother building operational systems. I mean, unless you're drowning,
Yeah.
inside, and then you need systems to, do fulfillment and whatnot. Then
Yeah.
but I think you should always focus on sales first. Because without money, everything else is
Can't
bad.
build also, right? You have
Yeah.
no capital to build stuff anyway.
Yeah, I'd rather have
Yeah.
messy systems but making profit.
Yeah.
Then use the money, build, hire people and whatnot,
Yeah.
Rather than reverse, not making money, have nice systems, but for what?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how did they give us a live case study of how that played out in your businesses maybe?
Yeah, so I think in the business sense, I mean, although you
Give me a
mentioned,
specific example, like your first business maybe. I mean, now you're running True Genix, right?
Yes,
That's not
yes.
your first venture, right?
okay.
Yeah.
So let's say so after the eBay thing, I after university, I
Yeah.
went full time, hired part timers and all that. So I started selling what we call ebooks, digital marketing, information products on eBay, on ClickBank, this marketplace in the US, where people would buy information products like audio training, video training, or even ebooks, and they're willing to pay like $60 to $100. And this ClickBank marketplace has done billions of dollars. So I went into the personal development field, meaning that manifestation, how to be NLP, things like that. So I sold ebooks to the American market. That business we managed to scale to about 4.5 million a year, and I would say, what were the systems that helped out? So at the start, we were messy figuring out like how to get sales, how to get people to promote our products as an affiliate. So we had no systems and we had no idea what to do. So we just, I would say bang on doors, ask people to promote us. Of course, they won't promote you Then
Yeah.
we figured out, there is, I would say, the system, like how do you get people to promote you? People only promote you if they make a lot of money, right? And of course, people promote you if the product is good. So it's a combination. So first you need to know, some people promote you because they make money, some people promote you because the product is good. And in the real world, that's how it is, right? It's not always because it's free or whatever. So you need to first understand how the market is, and then eventually you build systems to, how do I find people who would promote me if they make a lot of money?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think maybe the system part specifically was, I think in 1 year, we were putting out 3 launches, okay? Now, whenever we launch a product, so 3 launches means every 4 months we put out a launch,
Yeah.
a new product. The data showed that I think about 20-30% the launch will do well. And if the launch does well, means there's a product market fit, the marketing was good, that month, we would potentially see sales increase by that month, maybe 50K to 80K USD. And the good thing was, it's a new product. It means that for every month after that, you'll get maybe a 20-30K bump from previous months, right? So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But the bad thing was, if the product was a dud, it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Right. That month maybe we'll just generate 20K, break even on the cost, and then every other month it will generate extra 2-3K that product. So it was very demoralizing in the sense that you gotta wait for another 4 months before you have another product launch and hope it succeeds.
Yeah.
Right. So this is where potentially we reverse engineer and thought about, hey, what does it take, since we know the odds of a big winner is 20-30%, and I'm only putting out 3 products a year, then it's possible that I don't have a big winner, right?
Yeah.
So we went to reverse engineer the system and thought about, how can I put out product every month? Right? Because based on probability, then if I have 12 products in a year, based on let's say 20%, I should have 2 to 3 big winners.
Yeah.
Right? So the only thing we had to reverse was, okay, how operations wise, how to get it done? Money wise, how can we finance that? And but I think that was a very key reason how we grew, because we reverse engineered everything. It took us maybe 3 months to get into the rhythm of launching a product every month.
Yeah.
But we managed to do that.
Yeah.
And that grew the business by leaps and bounds.
Well, okay. So just analyzing where that where the needle movers are essentially.
Yes,
right?
yes, you're
and
right.
then just optimizing for that specifically.
Correct.
It seems to be a common theme in perhaps any business that you start.
Yes. So you need to find leverage,
Yeah.
where your leverage pillars are,
Yeah.
double down on them.
Right. That makes sense. And after that, you took the money, you transition, you sell the business or no?
That one we transited to the supplements and skincare. I
Okay.
think that was in 2015,
Okay.
because I think we were finding trouble growing bigger.
Yeah.
And so I was at masterminds in the US, and I saw like, supplement business owners doing 50, 100, $200 million. And while personal development, we were not Tony Robbins, so they were doing smaller numbers. So
Sure.
that's where I felt that, I think, moving to the supplement space, a bigger market space was better because your success is amplified if you're in a bigger space.
And that's what you said earlier also, right? You're analyzing your skill set and then the market size and then looking at where to go.
Yes.
That's the good way to think about business also. I realized that it's much work as I put in sometimes. If the market size is, your ICP is like this,
Yes.
ideal client profiles like this,
Yes.
there's only very limited people that can buy your stuff.
Yes, that's true. Yes. So you need to be mindful. But I think for your first business, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah.
You make your first pot of gold first.
Skill sets first.
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
Yes. Increase skill sets, make your first pot of gold. Then maybe on your second, third venture, then be more mindful of that, Because, at the same time, huge market sizes and all that are actually competitive.
Yeah.
So if your skills aren't up to mark, then you're going to get killed.
Right. And so transitioning to the supplement business, what was the very cruel lesson, not really harsh lessons you got to learn before you even scale?
I think one lesson we learned was different business model. So we never managed inventory before because previously it was digital products.
Yeah.
Right. So that was I know it sounds naive, but we just didn't think about it and realize, we need to therefore map out when to order so that you don't run out of stock.
Yeah.
That's well, things like that. And inventory, and then there's spoilage also because expire and things like that. So I think that was, we had some big learning lessons over there. But in general, I think we were very fortunate at the start to scale very fast from, I think it was like 4.2, 6.5, 22, 44 million.
Wow. What was that? What was that secret? Did COVID play a part? Or?
No, that was before COVID.
Okay.
Before COVID, yeah. The 44 million was in 2018. So I think it's a combination of reasons, but some luck, I think, involved. Firstly, at the time, I think, so one of my skill sets, I guess, is modeling. Like, I always analyze competitors and we model people, or rather copy, right?
Yeah.
But I think you need to copy not just the superficial areas, but you need to go in, like, know the details as well. And if you are able to do that and know the secret sauce to a certain degree, that will speed up your success. Because rather than innovate and start from scratch, I always rather copy, test it, and then innovate after that.
Okay, add your own flavor to it.
Yeah, but at the start, I think if you're not familiar, don't bother. I mean, a lot of people, I think they start off saying like, I'm going to do it different. But you can, but you run the risk of, the odds are that you won't succeed. Are higher that you won't succeed versus succeeding because you haven't gained domain expertise and experience in the market yet.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from people, businesses watching this is, have the mindset first of all. You need to have a mindset to hustle, have a strong drive, whether there's a push or pull. Come in, develop your skill sets first, focus on sales. Systems are great, but systems has to be amplifying something that really works, right?
Yes.
Not something that doesn't work.
Yes.
And then once you catch that model after...
Yes, model. You can easily... I feel that every business can be grown to $1 million a year easily just by modeling. There's no reason a business should not be $1 million.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not $1 million is because you didn't model properly or you're not executing well.
I mean, you say it as a matter of fact, which is fascinating to me, right? Because I think people on the outside looking at it, be like, $1 million is a lot of money. A lot of money. But, but I'll say also, just before I hand it back to you, I'll say that that's what I also thought initially. Until I came and met people who were doing a lot more. Then I looked at the systems they're doing and I helped do it. Actually, it was not difficult to reach $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 million is like, what, 83,000 a month?
Yeah.
Right? You calculate it. So, of course, it depends on business models as well. But yeah, I think $1 million, it's a combination of, you should be able to brute force with a small team or yourself into $1 million.
Yeah.
The only reason, if you've been stuck, not even hitting there in like 2 years or whatever, or 3 years, is because the market product fit is wrong. Meaning that there's no demand for a market.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you are selling something that there's no demand, then you never model something. So that's why I said you should be able to.
But why else would people not hit $1 million besides maybe these factors?
I mean, so many reasons. Shiny object, shiny object. A lot of us, there's always something exciting. We pivot, change, right? Next thing is what are we focusing on? It's very normal for us, our own characteristics, to focus on things that we're interested in the business. So you might be potentially self-sabotage.
Feels like that's me also.
Very, very normal to be self-sabotaging yourself, not focusing on what you should be doing, but what you prefer to.
Wow.
And it's okay, just that if it's too detrimental, it slows down the business.
It's up to you. So, I mean, if you're happy doing that, by all means, right? It's outcomes driven as well.
That's true if you're happy, but as long as you're not losing money as well. So, I think end of the day.
Yeah. Interesting, because I mean, Mark is a friend, a mutual friend of ours as well. Mark Teo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's advocates a lifestyle business also. You don't need to make a huge smile as long as you're free and you're happy.
Oh yes.
That's fine. You know, and which begs the question, right? Will you rather make 100K a month, but you're working non-stop, or 30K a month, pure passive, right? It's a separate question altogether. The best is probably have both. Uh, and that's perhaps what you're leaning towards, right? You have a lot of money at the same time. You're also building towards a time where you don't need to be involved in the business.
Well, I wouldn't say a lot of money, but yeah, I'm comfortable. Although I think after being in business for so long, you understand that actually there are ups and downs, so you need to save for rainy days. But I think at the end of the day, it's important to know what you want when you build a business. Like, what's your end goal, and redesign, or rather, make sure that you're designing and creating a business to reach that. So some people, maybe they're workaholics and they love working and they don't care about family. I mean, each of us is different, right? So, and if that is what they love and want, they should just build a business that revolves around that, right? It's fine. You know, maybe they'll start multiple businesses and they just love that. Or maybe there's people that want work-life balance at the end. And if you want that at the end, you just need to know, okay, at the start, you're not going to get that. But if you do not build your business to get to that consciously and intentionally, you will never get that. I see a lot of people, yeah.
Great. Well, that's a very good transition. I think we have enough on the business scaling side, right? Very good transition into AI. Because AI, you would argue, is going to help to accelerate the process in all areas, plus also help people to free up their time, because AI essentially
I wouldn't say argue,
leverage.
it does.
It does, okay.
It does. For me, it does. There's no question about
No
it.
question. So that's why I'm passionate about. I think in recent conversations, especially, AI is becoming more and more ubiquitous, right? But I believe you started out. When's your first touch point with AI?
Well, I remember this in 2022 November when how do you pronounce? GPT just came out. Yeah. So we were already exposed back then. We were trying it out for various, I think just copy stuff, marketing, very basic stuff. And it was just quite interesting. So I was already introducing the entire company to just try it out. I think that was, the models back then were a lot more primitive compared to what they have now. But that was our first touch point. And then throughout the years, we've been meddling more with it. And I think in this last 3 months, the acceleration and use case of AI has, I would say, skyrocket. So, whereby there's so much potential ways you can use it.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It seems like everything just happened all at once. But obviously, this has been a conversation for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
People just did not really take it seriously until when it comes, and then there's a whole flood all together. Let's break it down.
Okay.
A massive can of worms here, but let's just talk about first, how should I approach it as a business owner looking at this? Where do I even begin to think about it?
Okay. So I think for starters, if you're not even using AI, you should get accustomed to using it.
Okay.
Meaning use it in your daily life and everything.
Right.
Like I use AI 70% of the time I'm awake. So everything is AI. Like even talking to my child, asking things, and my checking out what fish this is or whatever. I just ask AI everything. My daughter has some dots. We're not sure what it is. Take a picture and try to analyze it. So I think just become used to using AI. Okay, now let's go to business case. So I think the business use case really depends on what your business. The best way to get great impact on AI is where is your business stalling on potentially, or where can you get the biggest impact? Because it really depends. Let me give you an example, right? So for example, let's say you run an agency, a marketing agency, and actually your marketing is very good. You have a lot of clients coming in, right? You're doing a lot of sales, but you have issues therefore on the fulfillment side, right? Your team members, you find it tough to hire good team members that produce consistent work for your clients, right? So sales is not an issue, it's the fulfillment part. Therefore, you can't take on more clients. So that one's a given. AI, you'll be able to use AI potentially to onboard new clients. If you think about it, I feel that anything that a human can do, as long as there's a work process, a way to go about thinking about it, AI can do it. So let's say onboarding a client. So what do you ask them? How do you onboard an existing client? You find out their competitors, you do market research, you give them a questionnaire, you understand their USP, you maybe have a 1 hour interview them, I don't know, record it. So you just do the same things, map out your framework, and then put it onto AI, and then it can actually build the campaigns for you after that. So it just requires some tweaking. Right, you just need to know what do you consider. Like you consider competitors, it has to go out there. So fulfillment can be definitely, I think, like 10x. Yeah. So if that is your, I would say bottleneck, yes. Then if you're okay, look, what if your problem is like agency? Your problem is sales. Right, you're not closing enough sales. Fulfillment, you have a team, but there's nothing to do, not much to do. So therefore, then you should firstly, I would say, AI amplifies, but if your marketing was bad, it'll just amplify bad marketing. So firstly,
got it. Just to pause you, right? So what I'm hearing is that AI, first of all, is an amplifier and
Yes.
enabler. So your foundation needs to be right.
Yes.
Your prompts and your data needs to be right.
Yes.
So you need to put in data, feed it, ensure it's good prompting. All those, it's
I would say just prompting. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what, I mean, ideally good prompting, but
Yeah.
even if the prompting is bad, you
Yeah.
need to be able to vet the work to know it's good or bad.
Yeah, okay. So the foundation,
Yes.
first of all, then after that, it's like a foundation for it. Because when I tried it, I arrived to a conclusion pretty fast, but that conclusion only because I really had existing knowledge of what is good
Yes,
and bad.
yes.
And then I can pick this out and I narrow it down
Yes.
and ask more questions about
Yes.
that until I find something that I really
Yes.
like, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, this foundation is that your foundation needs to be good, right?
Yes, because you won't be
not,
able to
you
know
just-
it's good or bad.
Yeah. And then after that, the next use case is to editor just comes about something. I want to say something I forgot. After the data, that is where
Even the marketing, the amplifying, the
yeah. Same thing. That's where you ask it to build build systems around knowledge, because for example, like you said, marketing campaigns, right? You can immediately instantly come up with a whole campaign,
yes,
but you have to put in like
yes. So if you ask it just to build a campaign, it will just build out a generic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you have to prove your own hypothesis. So let's say, let's say you want to build a marketing campaign to acquire new customers. So you need to have some hypothesis of your own first. For example, maybe you want to model someone. So let's say you say for your marketing agency, you're just going to go after, let's say, tuition agencies and whatnot, right? So you therefore feel that the hypothesis is maybe the people aren't buying or signing up with you because you are not hitting the pain points of them better enough. You're not resonating with them when you try to close them. So therefore, you can use AI to then do deeper research. Previously, maybe you're doing research, but to analyze the pain points
Yeah.
of that market segment first.
Got it. Actually, I just remember what I wanted to say. Now I remember.
Okay.
Before that, right, actually, there's one more thing, which is what is the most urgent and focused important thing now in your business? Then you use AI on that.
Yes, yes.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So I think we were talking about how identify bottlenecks and then use AI to either solve that or to amplify what is really, really good
yes.
currently.
Yes.
I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because the reason why I say is because I think it's very overwhelming.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
there's so many, you get distracted with so many different kind of applications, right? There's Claude, there's Plot. I mean, I think I brought up my Plot note actually, and I
Plot, yeah.
got it because it's very useful for me.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's also become a distraction, So I'm just wanting to let people know that you don't need to work on everything all at once. Yeah. And how have you used it in your businesses? Yeah.
So in many different ways. So maybe one good way would be, let's say, design.
Yeah.
So our creative designer used to come out 3 ads a day
Yeah.
for Meta, and then we pushed her to use AI in Canva and Photoshop or whatever. So with AI assistant, she from 3 became 9 graphics a day, of which actually for creative testing you need to have more graphics. And then we started moving whereby we said no, there's no limit, and tell her that you don't need to touch. So you need to actually in AI, it's not so much of you executing, but you envisioning, and you're like the conductor,
Yes,
envision.
yes.
Like you have to think actually and say,
I hear you.
right?
Yeah.
So with the thinking process now, she generates about 36 graphics a day. Great
So from
graphics.
3 to 36.
Yeah, and you have to remember, it's 3 to 36 is not just how much X? Is it 9X?
12.
12X, yeah. It's not 12X, it's 12X a day. So it's 336.
Yeah,
336.
yeah.
So it's exponential growth every single day passes by that you do not implement AI in work process. So in this case, it was
Wow.
productivity plus performance boost,
Yeah.
right? We have also used AI, I think, in other areas of marketing where for us, we actually sell a lot of this. We use this video sales letters to sell our product,
okay.
right? And the conversions were all going down. So I was testing the hypothesis of, okay, what if I could create a documentary? Right? Because the hypothesis was a documentary would have a potentially higher trust factor, and then the conversions would potentially be better. Now, without AI, would I be able to do that? Firstly, without AI would be maybe I can find a script writer who will write a documentary, but it will cost a lot of money. It'll take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Then potentially to film it, it'll take a lot of money also.
Yeah.
So let's say cost and money was like that.
Yeah.
So it was always something that I could do, just that it created a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? So now with AI, what AI has done is it's allowed you to pursue hypotheses and ideas
Yeah, short.
because it's faster and the cost is just
So my one of my earliest mentors, right, his name is Rushdi, Reactor School founder.
okay.
He said something that I never forget. He said entrepreneurship is just like a series of experiments until you run out of money.
Yes.
And I think AI has sped up the process.
Literally, yes, yes. So that's
Yeah.
why you are. I mean, if you harness it and use it well,
Yeah.
can you imagine how fast you're iterating and figuring out all the failures and testing, and then just finding goals so much faster?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, bringing up these they might cause certain friction for some people. I think it's worthwhile to discuss also. I have an acquaintance of Rayston. He's a young guy. He's making a lot of money from dropshipping. A lot of people question his processes, whether it's integrity or not, even his marketing. I won't go into that. But I think you did highlight that you went on these YouTube videos and you saw the way he used AI.
Yes, yes. So his persona on YouTube is very different from TikTok, like different
Yeah.
person, the way he talks and all that. And I actually looked at some of his processes and what he uses, what tools he used, and they were legit and it was very insightful. And I brought this back to my team, and they never knew this existed. And then they felt that was useful. And I was like, oh my god, why aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think maybe Rayson, when he first started out, he was he learned from people, or he was pushed and he needed to perform.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have to find better ways and solutions. But I come to realize the team.
Especially because people cannot believe his success. You see. And Singaporeans are generally very boxed up.
Yeah.
We are very, our reality box is quite small. So we tend to dismiss things we don't understand. But I think with AI also, it's coming.
I don't think it's not only things we don't understand. I think we tend to dismiss supernormal performance
Yeah.
in general because it's just normal. It's easier to tear down people, to say they're scams and all that. And sure, there are some,
Yeah.
but at the same time, not everyone's a scammer. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I think I take a more detached point of view and ask myself, what can I learn from this or from people? Right? I mean, he's 12 years younger than me. I can be jealous and say that, hey, you know what? It doesn't mean not learn from him, but I reached out because I'm fascinated about not just the AI, but also the marketing, right?
yes.
How he think about marketing and distribution of content and all that. Yeah, so coming back to the overall point about AI is that it's definitely gonna dramatically change things. I mean, now I'm telling my guys I told them actually after I started using Claude, right, that everyone needs to start using it in their own life so that it's integrated in the company.
Yes, yes.
And I half jokingly say that if you cannot integrate it, you probably cannot survive in this company.
Yeah, you cannot.
And I don't think it's just a conversation that we have. It's like in general, how is that? Because you just talked about that. Entrepreneurs might get excited at hearing you, but if someone is employee listening to you, they might get scared. Like, I'm not going to be replaced. My job's going to be replaced. How are you going to think about that then?
Yes, so I think it is true and it's very scary because I think, remember I talk about
Yeah,
if you have domain expertise and all that, therefore you can vet the work.
yeah,
So what's going to happen? People who have low skill, low experience, even when they have AI, they are amplified 10x, but it's all low skill work, low skill quality.
yes.
So that's a problem, right? So what's going to happen is all the domain expertise, all the experienced people who use AI are going to be 100x
Yeah.
better than, and it's not 100x better than them. It's 100x producing 100x expert good quality work versus the 100x lousy quality work, which is then
Wow, there's even more.
yeah, so all these people unfortunately are going to lose their jobs. It's scary because I think there's going to be riots and anarchy because when it catches on, more people will lose jobs and people are going to be unhappy. So how do you find jobs for them?
Yeah, man.
Because think about it, right? In the past, you need to depend on people and you need to teach them, you need to delegate them because you cannot scale yourself. But if you're able to scale thought processes and frameworks and deliver them at high consistency because of AI agents, because you're the one training the model,
Yes.
then you have less need for people, right? So, and if you're, so therefore you just need all the top people working for you and thinking about architecting workflows and solutions.
Yeah. Where do you stand on ethics? Where do you stand on, the future of AI and how this would affect our world? Or is it too big of a question for you to address and think about? You're just focusing more on how can you use it in your own life?
When you talk about ethics, is that when you use it to scam people, or in what way?
I would say because you say that it's an amplifier, right?
Yes.
And obviously the argument is that now bad people with and human beings are generally very
yeah.
And you would say that human beings are optimistically not the most not optimistic. Human beings are not the most righteous individuals all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, I would argue that everything is backed by violence, right? Everything is backed by deterrence. If I don't pay a fine, eventually if I keep delaying,
yes,
eventually violence is going to be used on me.
Yes.
And that's why I pay the fine, because there's a deterrence.
Yes.
So even the greatest optimist idealist in the world would acknowledge that human beings without deterrence is quite a bad thing. Yeah. So with AI now, bad can be amplified. Good people can be using it to all kinds of stuff.
So I guess the question again, I think you've gone a bit philosophical in the
Yeah.
sense that I don't think about such issues.
course, yeah.
In the sense that, okay, I generally don't think about things that I have no control over, right? Because if I was thinking, that's why I don't read the news. I don't care like what happens there. Like, it only makes me feel upset or feel happy.
yeah.
I only control what I can control.
Yes.
My immediate future, my family, and all that, right? So I generally don't think about that because I don't find it productive to
Yeah.
think about that. And yes, but not thinking about it doesn't mean it won't happen. It will happen. There'll be scams. People will push AI to its limits in unethical ways. So I think that just depends on your own individual. If you choose to use AI in unethical ways to scam people, and I mean, I don't want to set standards for people, and that makes you happy, then by all means go and do that.
Yeah.
But if you get caught, and then there are ramifications, so forth, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think definitely a lot of scams are. I mean, it's
But sometimes the lines are grey also, and I think recently I did a video of saying that so many people got fooled by this.
yes.
This
There are a lot of
three
scamming
kids. It's not even a scam. It's just basically three RI kids that became doctors together.
Okay.
And I looked at it. I'm so obvious that this AI generated.
Okay.
But so many of them wanted to believe in that perfect narrative.
Okay.
You know, and when I called it out, my video also equally went viral because a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, cheated."
Okay, the question-
and the authenticity is like they still want authenticity.
Okay, but let's go back to
Yeah.
the root. What was the video story of the
Yeah.
three RI kids being
Yeah.
doctors? What was the actionable step they were trying to promote? What were they trying to promote?
Correct. So that's the fascinating. I think this links back to you, right? The fact of the matter is this: is either some sociology student or some media student trying to do a project.
Okay.
And he's probably trying to test whether virality can be engineered.
Okay.
Or some sort of. I'm going to start talking about this because this is my domain.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that they purposely chose very specific
Yes,
factors
to
and they put it together
Yes.
to know that it's going to go viral.
Okay, but
Yeah.
was there a negative thing to that story? Was it making people feel like
No, it wasn't. So the thing is that this is the thing. So this is another ethical thing altogether. It's like if people can believe in a lie, quote unquote, right, and they're happy and they're fulfilled. And who am I to say that?
yes?
Yeah, and this is also about religion, right? You can argue that religion is not necessarily the truth, but it gives people comfort and solace. But I think it's when people realize that like it's fake, quote unquote, in this case, it's not a real story, then they riot because then they feel cheated.
Yes.
That human emotion is that I want authenticity and honesty. Whether that will go away with AI, I don't
But
like don't
you know, I think in general, humans say that, but whether they really do that is another thing. Think about luxury brands, right? You know, it's all branding. You know, the
Yeah.
quality is not. I mean, you don't pay for the quality. You pay for
Yeah.
branding, perception, all that. And yet, why are luxury brands? You know, LVMH, one of the most biggest company in the world.
Yeah,
So
yeah, fair enough.
humans say this,
But
but
they
if you look at
choose
the actions,
something
they choose
else.
something else,
Yeah.
and there will always be a majority that are very authentic. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think, in my view, the ends, justify
By
the
the
means.
means.
If you could, so actually, like I'm posting so much on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
AI stories, and I always try to generate stories that get a certain emotion, but the end goal is to put something positive, which is to eventually get them to go back to your parents and and remember those stuff. Do good things.
Yeah.
So if the end result is
Single
good,
human.
who cares whether it's AI generated or not?
Yeah.
What's real and what's fake? And technically, to be honest,
Reality is a
yeah, I mean,
constructor.
yeah. So I don't think about this. I mean, people will still be offended and still feel
Yeah.
cheated. I don't care about those people.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think there's going to be a majority. There's going to be a minority or at most a smaller percentage than a majority for sure. So again, I don't think about that.
Sure.
In fact, I think
You think about it, but I'll say this. My counter is that, but it will only affect you perhaps more pertinently if it affects how people respond to your ads, how people respond to your business. You think that will become something
yes
to think
and
about in
no.
the future? Yeah.
But if I have this opinion that the bigger you become, regardless of where you go, there'll be naysayers. People will hate you, no matter how legit you are. And assuming you didn't use AI, you're legit. You still get
Yeah,
naysayers. So the ratio of your success should be how much naysayers versus your impact. So as your impact grows bigger, I look at the more naysayers and people unhappy with me actually means that I'm doing better. So I don't look at it as a negative thing. I look at it as that's how humans are. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't even care.
Yeah.
Use AI, use it for good. If you use it for bad, then bad on you. But use it for good, I think it doesn't matter. Don't even think so much. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can someone start to start watching this and they want to say today is the day I start? What should they do?
I think definitely just at least it's crazy how people don't even pay for the tools.
Yeah.
Just pay $20, get both GPT and Claude first.
Yeah. Why GPT and Cloud?
I think there are some. I mean, I generally use more Claude now, but there's
Yeah.
some things that when I try Claude, I run GPT. GPT that gives me better stuff.
Okay.
But generally, I use more Claude now. But the thing is,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter which one you use because eventually one's gonna supersede. But
Okay.
Claude is much more powerful for now, at least.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, in general, try not to use it to get more data, get more. And some people use it to analyze stuff or get data. I'm like, get the data, then you still need to analyze it. I always try to push it to get me the end goal. Okay, so what do I mean by end goal? Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to use it to post your content, right?
Yeah.
So, your end goal is what? You want to create content that's authentic to yourself that will potentially go viral. So therefore, you build up a hypothesis. Okay, how do I do that? Firstly, it needs to do research on all the viral content on my market niche.
Yeah.
You usually use it to try to get insights there and then give you the data. So some people usually get the data, then go and analyze it themselves and figure it out. I'm like, no, I don't want to figure it out.
Yeah.
Get it to analyze the data, right? If you want, give it training or, if you feel that training in books, I'll put books in, frameworks on it. I don't read them. What I believe are good, I just put it inside and use it. Use these frameworks to then build up content structures, strategies or whatnot. And based on my stories, my life, everything is there. Whatever you posted before, I say find a blend to create the end result of what content would potentially go viral and still authentic to myself. And so I push to the end.
Outcome. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. And that's also the way that I used it for the first time, even a short time to generate something.
And it might not be perfect at the start, I think, but I would say it will get there closer than a human would much faster. And then the key thing, like you said, is just iterating super fast.
It's agree. So if I may add on to this also, is like just upload in, talk to it as if it's your partner, right? Like just upload in the data there.
Yeah.
Upload in everything.
All
that
context,
you have
everything.
passed, every context put in, right? PDFs, whatever, what you want. Talk to it as if like it's your friend, in a way it's trying to help you to get to an outcome.
Yeah.
And then from there you can put in models. And for example, I said that if you have 3 content pillars, right?
Yeah.
This is my first content pillar, my second one, this is my third one. Can you ideate within these content pillars? And then they might ask you, right? Can you give me some examples of viral videos that have gone viral in the past?
Yeah,
they cannot read links at the moment, so you have to write out a summary of the video.
Oh yeah, so usually I take videos, download and I transcribe them. I use TurboScribe, it's unlimited transcription.
Yeah.
I'm trolling every day, I'm trolling things to transcribe
Yeah.
the videos and then just sticking the videos.
Copy and copy paste, yeah. And so you can also voice record.
Oh yeah.
Makes it faster. So
Yeah, I feel it's faster. I use Whisper Flow. I think that's the one I use. So rather than type, I just ramble and ramble and ramble. It doesn't matter that you ramble around.
Yeah, because it can process data, so it can pick out the key points and distill it for you.
And I think that another key point to remember is you don't have to be worried that you get it wrong, in the sense that there's no cost to you asking a bad question. But there's a cost if you delay and don't do it and think about how to get a perfect prompt. Because you're paying that fixed $20.
Yeah.
Just ask whatever you want to ask. Then iterate from there.
Yeah. We're approaching the hour mark. That's why we're going to start winding down already. When do you see yourself retiring? Do you have a certain timeline and moving to consulting full time?
Not so sure about that. Unfortunately, the business had some tailwinds last year. So kind of fixing some of those areas. And thankfully with AI now, it's a lot faster to execute on our plans. But at the same time, also in the business consulting, I think there's a lot of changes, meaning that content is commoditized already. So rather than I telling people to do things, you should be using AI to help them customize the frameworks into their business immediately. So I think you can build. There's a lot of updating to be done here. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Hopefully, I can retire in 5 years' time. But yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, are you taking consults? In the meantime, can people come to you, DM you?
In the meantime, yes, I do take some consults. And I think once a year, usually I do run a boot camp of sorts. I ran one last year. There were 18 attendees. And this year, probably going to run another.
Fascinating. If you're watching this, mark your calendars, probably drop Alvin a follow and come for the boot camp. In the meantime, just look forward to more of his content around business and scaling. This is Kevin. Been a pleasure hosting you, Alvin.
Thanks for having me.
And yes, do follow Alvin for more.
Okay.